Now that the issue of the Gaza aid ship no longer completely dominates the news the way that it has for a while, it's still there, but it doesn't dominate the way it has. I'd like to make a few observations on it. One of the most interesting aspects of this is the difference in opinion that one is seeing about the events that took place on that ship. The only people that know for sure what happened were on the ship. But it's interesting how lines are drawn before people seem to even have the capacity to know exactly what happened. It depends on one's political or ethnic or social persuasion, I suppose, what one seems to sincerely believe took place. The only people that do know were on the boat. The rest of us have to go by second-hand or third-hand information. But a lot of people have seem at least to have made up their mind on what happened on board that boat. This leads me to a phenomenon which a fellow by the name of Romilly Jenkins, writing in the early 20th century about events in early 19th century Greece, dubbed ethnic truth. It's a phenomenon whereby, regardless of the facts of a particular case, reality is whatever reflects best on us, the good people, and downplays whatever is less attractive about us, the good people. In other words, if I were, say, an Israeli, and I was a practitioner, even a subconscious practitioner, Jenkins actually infers that it is a subconscious knee-jerk kind of thing, and I was seeing what was going on board that boat, I would automatically assume that the Israeli boarding party was on there to conduct a legal search, or a necessary, if legally nebulous search, for weapons or for articles of war, the best to prevent them from getting into the hands of people who may use them against people living in the southern part of my own country. In other words, there's every reason why people would have to board that ship. These soldiers were attacked by people who were just deliberately trying to make us as Israelis look bad in the press. The soldiers defended themselves, and now we look really terrible, and we're the victim of another pile of malicious lies about us. Now you can imagine, if I were a Palestinian practitioner of ethnic truth, what my version of that event would be. And there's an awful lot of this seeming to happen. What actually took place on that boat seems less important than what should have happened, depending on one's point of view. Now, this kind of thinking, I think, often sort of creeps into people's minds, as it were, through the back door, especially in a situation where both sides believe that their backs are against the wall. This is war. This is survival. We can't afford the niceties of telling the literal truth to people, because the outside world, there's always this outside world, the naive outside world, wouldn't understand. So we have an actual legitimate reason for either lying or believing our own distorted version of what happened. Survival trumps the truth. And again, Romilly Jenkins was talking about the Balkans, and that kind of thinking, with the insanely savage wars that have traditionally taken place in the Balkans. You can see why people would become the practitioners of ethnic truth par excellence. The fate that befalls you if you end up on the receiving end of the wrath of the other side the other people across the valley, the other ethnic group, is so severe, potentially severe, that truth really doesn't matter. It's facts, truth, reality itself becomes a weapon in a larger conflict. I hope that we can start to see patterns in this kind of thing, because what really matters is what actually took place on the boat. I am not going to say that I'm innocent of ethnic truth myself, or practicing ethnic truth. I'll be honest. I kind of want to believe that the Israeli soldiers overreacted and went out of control on board that boat. But again, I have to be honest, I don't know because I wasn't there. Even though I do sympathize with the Palestinians, I still have the obligation to cleave to phenomenal truth. That's ethnic truth. And my reaction to it, my view of it, and how damaging it can be, even though it is very understandable. Thank you.